I got a text this morning from a very, very good friend of mine who is having a lot of struggles. And there's a lot of struggles that I completely understand because I was in her shoes back when I was living in Roanoke, which Roanoke was not good for me. It wasn't. That was a slow circle around the drain. And where I see that it's going, I'm sorry. And, I got a lot of friends from Roanoke, and I care about those people. But it's kind of an energetic hellhole, honestly. And I see the struggle in everybody. I see it. And, she's crying out right now because she can't possibly believe in anything. No, she really can't. Not while she's in there. No, she can't. I understand that. So I'm going to recount part of a history that it's puzzling to me as well. That I wish would help her. I don't know if it does because I don't think that the formula is the same for everybody. I could not believe in anything positive while I was there, but I was fully aware of the fact that you manifest what is in your mind. And if you have absolutely nothing but sludge in your mind, and that's all you can see anywhere around you, and things have gone from bad to worse, and you're watching this happen to everybody around you as well, all you're going to manifest is more of that sludge. So here I am 15 years later, up in the mountains of West Virginia, am in a different place, still an infantile position in this pathway. I'm still learning, and I still feel like I'm just starting out. But even back then, it's taken me this long. Back then, I couldn't do anything. And I was so miserable. And I really didn't think it was going to end. And it was years, and then years became decades. And everything I tried to do crumbled apart. And it just sucked the life out of me and became a nightmare. Every single thing. And I don't know what happened, but about 3 years ago, I was driving through the main drag of Elkins, and some sort of positivity lit upon me. I don't understand it. There weren't any good thoughts leading up to it, that's for sure, because I didn't have any of those, ever. Just all of a sudden, it's like a release, and there was peace. And maybe that's just what it was. It was, for once, there was peace because it was quiet. I'd gotten rid of all of the crap. It was a different set of crap. But it wasn't the kind of crap that made me helplessly ill. And I'd known this. I had been aware that I was in this cycle and hadn't the slightest idea how to get out of it. So when that happened, I grabbed on as hard as I could. Just only focus on that. Don't go back to your same old thinking, your same old reasoning. Do not do that. You are just going to throw yourself away. This may never come again. I don't understand this, but just hang on to it. Of course, it's not linear, and I knew it wasn't going to be linear. It was still another rough week. And then I got another one out when I was walking on the path out at the park. Out of the blue, I don't have any kind of manual of thinking like where, okay, we'll just think about this again and it'll take you back. I didn't have that to go on. But again, I grabbed onto it and tried to focus on that and try to elevate myself. Now, if I hadn't had the thoughts that I had leading up to it about seeing myself in this washing machine, seeing myself pulling the shit into my life, over just burying myself with it and choking on it, I probably would have been like, yeah, this wasn't so bad, but fuck life. I still sometimes I say that, and still sometimes I cry out in agony, but it's gotten less and less. It's taken me 15 years. At first I thought, there's no reason for this to have happened. I just suddenly got a grace out of the blue, but that's not entirely true either. I put everything I had into moving twice. I don't know that that's the case for everybody. Everybody that gets this. I don't know that anybody can. My friend can't. She's still back in the same place that broke me. I can see it, and I can hear it in her voice and what she says. And I'm lucky, but I made a lot of sacrifices. And I spent 5 years in Tennessee. I do not know if Tennessee has the same bad energy that Roanoke had, or if it just took me that long to dig the crap out of me to the point where I could accept some sort of break in the sky. I don't know. But this didn't happen overnight. And contradictory to what I had callously started thinking when I first woke up to the recent bouts of texts, you can't just sit there and suddenly go, okay, well, I just choose to believe. No, you can't. No, you can't. Look how long it took me to come around to like, oh, this actually works. This actually works. And seeing it in all of the energy, and watching the tarot and watching the stars and, learning about the breakdown of Pythagoras and how he quantified pretty much everything in this universe. I still hate Pythagoras. But it's not that easy. And of course, this is annoying to say, but anything that's worthwhile isn't easy either. And I don't know where this is all leading, because I'm obviously not frou-frou, love and light, there are animals out there I hate. I even have a groundhog that I have to figure out how to dispatch every year. Every year we get one. It is horrible. I wish they would just stop with the destruction, but that's not a thing. I'm not a fan of deer, all this stuff that I believe in the monks. I believe in the way that they are and the way that they think and their message. I believe in it. I totally do. But I also recognize in myself that I am not that. At least not at this point in time. So maybe mostly what I'm doing here it's showing the journey. I also don't understand anybody who sits there and goes, well, you know what? I know everything and I'm going to tell you how to make your life better. It's not even for me to do that. It blows my mind that there are some people out there that just act like that about things. Colleges for preachers, I guess they teach you what you're supposed to say, but, from my standpoint, I've already seen the fallibility of Abrahamic religions. Any kind of doctrine, is kind of off-putting to me, and that's what they're teaching is really a doctrine. But we are sinners and this. Yeah, hell yeah. I guess if you want to cross your definitions, your terminology, I'll use the terminology. I'll use the word demons on things, and it sounds like, okay, it's just one of those, but, I could see where they plug that word into things that happen. The whole, the whole everything surrounding stuff that happens sometimes. Like, oh yeah, well, demons were upon him. Yeah, a lot of times people are not acting in their own right minds. And I've seen that firsthand. And probably been that firsthand too. I don't know. But anyway, this is where I am right now on this trip for this. And still not really good at meditations. The nice ones are pleasant. I still get the message, I really do. But as far as like acting within it, I do hit walls. I do.